Is going on YouTube? This is Wifimerriman here today, bringing you guys a best 2 out of 3 against another YouTuber with the name Xczachx. And man, looking at his team, he's running a Alcremie, Whimsicott, Excadrill, Arcanine, Rotom Cut, and Milotic. I'm running my typical team that I've been running in the past couple of days. I've been wanting to wait till the DLC until I make a new team. There's some Pokemon I want to try out, and if I try and make a team right now, I might miss the opportunity to try out some of my more favorite ones. Because I did go back to work. It's been a very, very hot week at work, by the way. Yeah. Been a very, very hot week, so when I come home, I just absolutely just about have no energy whatsoever. So coming in and having to build a Pokemon team on top of being already worn out may not become the best strategy in mind. So I kind of want to wait till this DLC comes out before I even attempt to try and make a team, and then I may make it like on the weekend or something. But anyway, let's get into the first battle. In this first battle, I decided to lead my Dusclops and Togekiss as he leads his Alcremie and Whimsicott. Now, my initial goal right here was I want to see if this Whimsicott was going to go for a Tailwind or not. He actually goes for the Helping Hand. And then right here, I was just like, well, we'll see what kind of damage they do. I don't necessarily have to go for Follow Me or anything. So I was like, okay, they go for Dazzling Gleam. And okay, that was okay damage. That was good damage. I get over half damage onto that Whimsicott. Next turn, though, Whimsicott decides to go for a Giga Drain. Almost making it where I was almost confirmed in my head that, oh, he don't have Moonblast, you know. So I was like, okay, great. So that's why he's hit me with Giga Drain. He doesn't have a Moonblast. But anyway, I could go ahead and go for a Life Dew, and then he goes for a Dazzling Gleam, and I'm able to set up my Trick Room. I was like, okay, the damage output that he's putting out on the field right now isn't that much. Why not go ahead and try and set up my Trick Room? It ain't going to hurt me too bad. He goes into his Arcanine. And not too worried about the Intimidate or anything. I believe I switched my Togekiss out. No, actually I stay in. This turn, go ahead and Nightshade, and I believe I go for a Dazzling Gleam as he goes for a Mystical Fire. Which, for the ones that don't know, that's a 100% chance to lower my special attack. But anyway, right here I believe that's when I switched Togekiss out into Snorlax to take full advantage of this Trick Room. I believe I actually go for a Nightshade into the Alcremie slot. And this right here is an Alcremie Dynamax. Or Gigantamax, excuse me. Was not expecting it. And I ain't seen one of these Alcremie Gigantamaxes in a long time. And I honestly forgot what Gmax Finale does. I was like, wait, it lowers my speed or something, right? No. All it is it's a pretty much kind of like a Giga Drain, but for both partner Pokemon. It can be annoying, especially if you're running maybe a very bulky team. But I'm definitely not too worried. Its damage output doesn't seem like it's something that I need to worry so much about, but I am a very bulkier team. As he says in his video, I already had an opportunity to watch his video a little bit. Anyway, I went ahead and Dynamaxed my Snorlax here. As you see that he switched into his Rotom, and I was thinking, crap, did he predict me? Because what I go for is a Max Quake. I was like, how did he read me? Like, man, I don't know if he actually made a read or anything, or if that was just a switch that he felt like he needed to do. But it works out for him in the best way possible, because Max Quake comes out, and I mean, obviously with it being Rotom, he pretty much got the best turn. I did burn the Alcremie though with my Dusclops. Went ahead and got it burned. And what that will do is, if this Alcremie happens to be Focus Sash, because I still don't know the items on his team yet. I was thinking, okay, if it's Focus Sash, his Focus Sash will always be broken. So I was like, okay, that will be good. Anyway, Rotom goes for a Protect. At this point, I feel like he's outplaying me. He's going for Protects when I'm trying to target into his Pokemon and stuff. He knows my Trick Room is about to end. I think it had like one more turn of Trick Room or something. So he had... I think that's what he was trying to do, is stall out my Trick Room. But great play. Because I know with my Snorlax, most of the time he doesn't do the biggest damage against a Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon. So I normally let him fight the smaller ones, and then he tends to get the KOs that way. But I mean, right here, we're still Dynamax. Alright, so the Rotom goes for the Dark Pulse onto my Dusclops, so go ahead and KO my Dusclops. I go for... No, he goes for a Dazzling Gleam. Obviously, it doesn't do much. I go for Max Steel Spike, and right here is where he reveals his item. His item is a Berry, which halves the damage of my Steel moves. And I still... Man, I would have KO'd that thing if he didn't have that berry. I'm pretty much... can say that almost comfortably, that we would have KO'd it. Anyway, right here, I believe I go into my Dracovish. Yeah, I go right into my Dracovish. Because right now, I know that they have a minus in speed. So outside of Trick Room, we should definitely be able to outspeed and start punishing his Pokemon at this point. He goes into his Arcanine to get the Intimidate off. But really and truthfully, Dracovish is so powerful that you honestly need to intimidate him about 2, 3, 4 times before it really starts making before you start seeing a notice in it. Excuse me, I had a burp. Anyway, right here I go for the Protect with Dracovish, and he goes for Giga Drain. I was trying to see what he had, mostly. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, right here, Arcanine goes for the Protect on his own. And right here, I go for Vicious Ren right into the Alcremie to go ahead and take that thing out. Don't want to mess around with that anymore. And then right here, I go for Life Dew to pretty much capitalize on his on him either protecting or doing hardly any damage. Anyway, right here comes the Whimsicott, and I believe he goes. I go for Follow Me, and I believe this Whimsicott actually goes for a Tailwind. Yes. Okay. And so the Arcanine will try and go for a Will-O-Wisp to hit my Dracovish, right? Because Dracovish is pretty much can run over his whole team at this point. And with my Follow Me, he targets Togekiss, and I go ahead and eliminate that Arcanine before it becomes a problem. So right here, I believe... What does he have in the back? Oh yeah, that's right. He has that Rotom. So right here, I'll go for Follow Me again. Pretty much giving me as many free opportunities as possible to make it to where Dracovish is not getting touched. You know, giving me as many possibilities, any awesome opportunities. But man, when I got for this Vicious Ren this time. Watch his damage against this Whimsicott. Dude, I was really expecting this to KO, and then it just... It didn't KO. I was like, really? Are you for real? Anyway, I go into my Snorlax. And, so I went ahead and protected the Dracovish, and I believe I go for a Heavy Slam into the Whimsicott. But, with this Dark Pulse... he actually flinches me. So, a little bit of hacks on his side, but don't worry, we'll get him back. He goes in for the Moonblast, and I believe he Thunderbolts or Dark Pulses into my Dracovish. Dark Pulses into my Dracovish to knock out my Dracovish. No big deal, right? I go for the Heavy Slam, and we KO the Whimsicott. So now it's Rotom versus Snorlax. My Snorlax is an Assault Vest, but I am sitting at half health. And his Rotom is practically at full health. He goes for the Dark Post, hoping to get the flinch. I go for my Body Slams. And he shows me that, oh, this is a berry. I believe Citrus Berry? Yes, Citrus Berry Rotom. Right here he goes for the Leaf Storm. This is where the Xczachx comes back. He actually misses his Leaf Storm, which makes it to where we are going to be able to take this one very, I'm not going to say comfortably, but we were able to take it. I don't know if we could ever taken the second one, and that would have been the second one, and I believe he would have won the game, but Xczachx worked out in my favor in the end. Anyway, game 1 goes to me. Zach, great game 1. Let's get into game number 2. Alright, let's get into game number 2. In game number 2, I went ahead and decided to lead a little differently. I went ahead and led Whimsicott and Dracovish. I kind of figured that he was going to think that I was going to go hard into my Trick Room mode again. So I was like, no. But Snorlax did good, and I believe I bring Arcanine, knowing that there was a situation there at the end of game 1 where Whimsicott and his Rotom cut. So I was like, okay, Arcanine would definitely be able to handle those. So that's what I went ahead and led with, or brought for game number 4. So kind of mixing it up a little bit, but I still brought the Dracovish and the Snorlax for that did so good in game 1. They're going to come back, and then I'm bringing Arcanine in the back just because I think he's going to be very good in this game. I do have the Whimsicott right here, and I went ahead and he's leading the Excadrill and Rotom Cut. He actually switches out the Rotom Cut in favor for his Arcanine, right? And I believe he actually goes ahead and Dynamaxes his Excadrill. Yeah. So he goes ahead and Dynamaxes his Excadrill. And I'm going to be setting up a Tailwind with my Whimsicott. And even at -1, just wait to see how much this Vicious Ren for my Dracovish still does. Like, Dracovish hits like a truck. So right here's going to be my Tailwind, which will allow my Dracovish to move first. And even at -1, this is why you have to do about 2, 3, 4 Intimidates onto my Dracovish, because this thing knocks him right down to his Focus Sash anyway. He goes for a Max Steel Spike, but my Whimsicott has a Focus Sash as well, so we're both got down to 1 HP on our Focus Sashes, so we're sitting, I guess, alright. Though, I mean, we're both still alive. Here, I'm sitting here thinking, man, he probably switched this Arcanine in to go for Extreme Speed or something. But he actually did not reveal Extreme Speed, so I was like, okay. So I went ahead and took out his Arcanine. So I'm in this situation now to where I know my Whimsicott's going to be able to outspeed this Excadrill. He goes right into his Whimsicott, I guess trying to set up his own Tailwind to maybe see if his Excadrill can outspeed my Whimsicott, but it does not. My Whimsicott's very, very fast, and we're able to KO this Excadrill. Now, again, though, I'm at -1 onto this Whimsicott. So I go for a Vicious Ren, and I still don't do that much damage. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, I went ahead and decided to go for a switch, first off, into my Arcanine. At this point, this is the end game I wanted. I wanted to see the 2 grass Pokemon. We already knocked out 2 Pokemon on his side, and I went ahead and gone for an Encore onto his Whimsicott, though. And then he showed me the coolest item, Mental Herb. And I mean, the Encore just ended. I was like, what? I was not expecting that. Honestly, in back of my head, I was still thinking Focus Sash, even though I know he could have never had the Focus Sash because the Excadrill has the Focus Sash. But in the back of my head, that's what he had. You know, I don't know. Something just, when I saw that, I was like, what? Was not expecting that at all. But anyway, Arcanine's on the field. I got my Snorlax out here. we're going to go ahead and watch a Helping Hand Dark Pulse come out from this Rotom onto my Arcanine. And yeah, it tickled, to say the least. It tickled. Pretty much knocking out the Whimsicott with my Heat Wave and almost knocking out the Rotom. He reveals a Citrus Berry, which I'm pretty sure he already revealed it in game 1. But at this point, we go for a Body Slam, get him right into the red health. I don't know exact number, but at this point, it's pretty much an easy pickup. He goes for Thunderbolt on my Arcanine. My Arcanine eats his Citrus Berry one more time before going for a Heat Wave for the win. So that's pretty much game. Zach, great set. A very strong game 1. Game 2, I don't feel like you had the best answers for whenever I switched to Tailwind mode. But either way, great set overall. I had I had blast actually playing you. And then we talked a lot after. And he helped me out. Kind of, I don't know. He kind of helped me understand some stuff. Because I was asking him, why didn't you bring the Melodic in the game or something, and he was giving me some insight and stuff I can use for my future battles and stuff. So I appreciate the help, Zach. Either way, great set. I do. It was very fun. Anyway, guys, this is Wifimerriman signing off. Peace.